I received a question on a different UPS video where I replaced a lead-acid battery with a lithium iron battery. The viewer had concerns about what happens if the lithium iron battery gets completely discharged and shows no voltage. Would the UPS be able to start and charge it once the power returns, or would the battery need to be removed and manually recharged? So I decided to test that out. My setup here is a small 40-watt light bulb that's going to act as the load, and I'm basically going to kick off the AC power so that the UPS runs on battery. I'm going to time how long it takes for this to run down to zero, and I've measured the approximate current the UPS is going to draw during this whole time, as you can see here. This is the current draw with the UPS running on the battery with only the light bulb as the load, 4.10 amps. So doing some quick calculations, per the earlier video and ChatGPT, we should have about 5.7 amp hours capacity with a current draw of 4.1 amps initially. The current will increase as the battery voltage goes down. The expected runtime duration should be 1.39 hours or 1 hour and 23 minutes. So I've got everything set up here with the light lighting up and a clock to measure the time. The UPS is currently plugged into the AC. I've disconnected it now at 12:02 and we'll go ahead and run this till it fully discharges. So we ran until 1:39 on the clock. Since we started at 12:02, the actual runtime was 1 hour and 37 minutes, a little bit longer than our estimated 1 hour and 23 minutes, so we probably got more capacity out of the battery than we thought, or the current draw ended up being a little bit less over time for some reason. So now we're going to go ahead and see what happens when we restore the power. So the battery may or may not be below the BMS's cutoff voltage, but first we'll check it just by turning on the power again. See what happens. Okay, AC power has been restored. And the UPS is off. Oh, and it kicks on. It remembered the state it was in. And it is probably charging the battery at this point. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is turn off the AC again. And we're going to see this thing is going to start flashing more rapidly, and I imagine it's going to discharge pretty quick here because it didn't get much time to charge. And then I'm going to take the battery out and I'm going to take a look at it, and I may discharge it to below, there we go, to below the BMS cutoff voltage, so it literally registers 0 volts. So right now, okay, the battery still has power. The UPS cut off the power before the battery was fully discharged. So let's go ahead and discharge the battery fully and then put it back and see what happens in that specific case. Okay, I've got the meter hooked up. We're going to draw 1 amp. We've got 10.9 volts. We'll see how long this lasts. The idea is to get this battery to show 0 volts. Okay, that didn't take long. I'm going to go ahead and reset to see where we're at. Yeah, our voltage here, you can see, is very, very low. And if we put our voltmeter, we will also confirm that this battery has half of a volt. That's all it's showing per, I guess, the design spec of it. So now we'll go ahead and reattach this battery inside here and see if this unit will function. Alright, for test purposes, we're just going to leave this the way it is. And we're now going to enable This will not turn on because there's no power. We'll now turn on the AC. AC is now on. I suspect it's actually charging the battery at this point, in which case the UPS is now coming back to life and looks like it's on. Let's go ahead and get that light bulb and unit here and see what we've got. Yep, it's now on. Of course, this is all AC power. If I turn off the AC power, there's going to be a little bit of charge left in the battery, and it's going to run on the UPS. It's going to die very quickly because there's not much power left, like that. And there we go. So it looks like this LiFePO will work just fine in this UPS, even if it's discharged below the full cutoff BMS voltage. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and take a look at one of my other videos here.